Hello everyone, it's the DoctorAnd here again. Now, as we all know, on the Tuesday of this week a general election was called. And as some people will know, also known as the one person who actually bothers watching my videos, back in July I ran for Prime Minister. However, unfortunately, not being a Conservative Party member, I was thus ineligible to be Prime Minister. So, but this is different because it's a general election, so, I can run under whatever bloody party I want, and I've got a chance of getting in, haven't I? So, now's your chance, everyone. If you want me as Prime Minister, then you've got to go out there and vote for me, the DoctorAnd. Now, before I get into the policies, I just wanted to do a little speech, because this seems to be the way of these things, and I just wanted to say that I think as a UK, we've been let down. All four nations have been let down, not just by politicians, but by, wherever, whether that be in the workplace, having a job that you loathe and despise, that you're overqualified for, but your boss doesn't appreciate you enough to either pay you more or give you a better job that would actually make you feel not happy to work there, but certainly not quite as miserable as you feel now. Whether that be, your father moving abroad when you were 10, or, maybe something like the trains costing too much money. We've all been let down in the past as Britons, and I think it's got to be the policy of whoever gets in to just not let people down in that, so that being the case, I'll get on with the policies now. Most of these you'll recognise from the last time I ran for Prime Minister, but there are some new policies, so listen out for them. So, as I say, some of these will be pretty familiar from last time. So I won't go into too much detail, I'll just, read them out, basically. So the first policy is we're going to raise minimum wage to £20 an hour by a week next Tuesday, and £600 an hour by 2022. We're going to change the national anthem to Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. Because if you really need me to explain why, when we've got a national anthem about saving an unelected monarch who's 93, then I don't know what to tell you, basically. Nick Clegg will be stripped of his knighthood and sued for treason. Somebody will need to be elected to replace Dennis Skinner for when he retires, just sort of in terms of, giving state opening of Parliament quips, things like that. We'll need someone for when he goes, so, that'll be a priority. Prime Minister's questions will be listed as a comedy show, thus making it eligible for several award shows, maybe even a Golden Globe in the future, for Best Comedy Series. So, keep an eye out for that under the DoctorAnd-led government. Yes, there'll now be 98p in the pound. And this will basically just be an experiment to see if things that currently cost 99p, whether they'll go down to 97p under the new system, or whether they'll now be effectively £1.1. So yeah, there's that one. We're going to repeal the sugar tax in the somewhat futile attempt, admittedly, to get Pepsi and Coke to release full-fat versions of their new flavours. Not that they'll, they don't seem to be listening to anyone else, so, we're going to reduce the amount of days in a year to about 20, and that's mainly due to the fact that, I feel like many people, after about 20 days, they've probably abandoned their New Year's resolutions by that point, well, probably by 10 days, actually, let's be honest, by January the 11th, you can't even remember what your New Year's resolutions were, So, and I think if we had 20 days of a year, that would be like, really focus people's minds. That's been one thing that's been said lately, hasn't it, about Brexit, you know. Or it really focused people's minds. Yeah, I'm sure it would. But if there was only 20 days to do something in, you know, you've got a deadline there, you can work to it, you know. So I think people are a lot more productive and a lot more likely to keep their New Year's resolutions. That's brilliant, that. Yeah, anyone involved in our sort of sorting out our Eurovision Act every year will be fired immediately and replaced and basically just sued for sabotage in the UK. I mean, you're not telling me that one of the greatest countries in the world for music, the country that gave the world the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and, you know, however many other great bands that the guy said in the last video, you know, the country that has won Eurovision 5 times, we now cannot finish higher than 26th. I'm not saying that they're doing this on purpose. All I'm saying is that there's definitely something very suspicious going on when the country that has produced such high quality music as the UK has produced all of a sudden can't do anything when it comes to a music competition. That seems very bizarre to me, and I think we should seriously consider looking into that, and that's what my government would do. So yeah, days in the week will be mixed up basically, so you know it won't be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. anymore. It'll be sort of, you know, maybe it'll be a Tuesday, yeah, and then that'll be followed by a Sunday, and then we'd have a, I don't know, maybe a Wednesday, you know, after that. So, you know, I think that's a great thing because, you know, it makes people's lives a bit more unpredictable, and I think, you know, that's one thing that people are missing at the moment, you know. I think the only bad thing I see with that policy is that Craig David would have to release many new versions of 7 Days, wouldn't he? You know, because the old one wouldn't work anymore. You know, he'd have to have like, yeah, I don't know, the new version would have to be something like, I met her on the Saturday, took her for a drink on Wednesday, we were making love by Monday, and on a Sunday and Tuesday and Thursday and chill on Friday. I can't remember what day of the week we haven't mentioned yet, but let's just go with that anyway. You know, so you get the idea of what I'm saying with that. Yes, and also, you know, I think it's quite despicable what's going on in pubs lately. You know, there seems to be a lot of overpriced alcohol. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So, you know, under my government, no one will have to suffer the indignity and injustice of having to pay more than £4 for a pint. Disgraceful, basically. But that rant's been made already. So, yes, we're going to reduce the watershed down to about 11 AM. You know, this should help people be a lot less sensitive to swearing and, you know, things like that. So, yeah, those are my main policies. Obviously, I've got more, but, you know, I don't want to reveal them now. You know, that wouldn't be a good, you know, it wouldn't be very good as a TV show, that would it? Or I'm just going to reveal everything now. No. You know, tune in for more, as they say. So, you know, yeah, that's my main policies. Now, I know that a lot of people will be wondering, you know, what constituency are you going to be standing in? You know, I imagine you'll probably be standing in the constituency of North Shropshire, will you? You know, considering that's where you were born and have spent your entire life living, you know. Well, you're right, I'm going to stand there. But I'm also going to stand in all of the other 649 constituencies across the country as well. So, you know, and in that way, I truly can be the People's Prime Minister. Because you know, that's been one thing that was said a while ago, wasn't it? The People's Prime Minister. Well, how can you be the People's Prime Minister, Tony Blair, when you're only the MP for Sedgefield? Doesn't make sense, does it? Whereas with me, if I was, you know, the MP for about 400 constituencies, I could literally be the People's Prime Minister, couldn't I? So, constituency work don't mean Prime Minister work, you should think. So, yeah, and I'm not going to reveal my Brexit policy either. You know, that'll be for next time. But just know that I've come up with something that I think will satisfy both Leavers and Remainers. And what other party can say that? You know, every other party seems to be going for one or the other. You know, we've got to appeal to the 48%, or we've got to appeal to the 52%. How about we appeal to all of them? Okay? As well as non-voters. You know, since Remainers like to bring that up all the time. So yeah, that's it basically. And, you know, just remember that a vote for the TheDoctorAnd will always be a vote to make Britain